What happens when a beloved national treasure transforms into one of the most disliked celebrities on the planet? How does someone go from being the charming, down-to-earth Smithy and Gavin and Stacey to a punchline in both Hollywood and London? Today, we're diving deep into the rise, fall, and infamous behavior of James Corden, the man who seemingly made the world hate him. Is the backlash deserved, or is he simply misunderstood? There aren't many famous stories that are as confusing or controversial as the one about James Corden. Corden was once a beloved figure on British TV, but his fall from glory has been dramatic, public, and some would say completely his own fault. Even though he keeps working and is still seen, it seems that the reaction has grown stronger as he's risen. As a young man, James Corden was a popular and talented TV host in Britain. His big break came when he played Smithy on the BBC series Gavin and Stacey. He co-wrote the script with his co-star Ruth Jones. Both viewers and reviewers liked the show because it was warm, funny, and very British. Fans thought Corden was a funny, honest, and relatable performance. For a short time, it looked like he was going to be the next big thing in British entertainment. But Corden's public image started to break down almost as quickly as he rose to fame. The next things he did, like the sketch show Horn and Corden and the movie Lesbian Vampire Killers, were not well received. The sketch show was called childish and rude by critics, and even Corden later said it was a mistake. What people used to find cute was now found annoying. His image started to get worse in 2010, only 3 years after Gavin and Stacey's first show. The first big problem Corden had with the public happened in 2010 at the Glamour Awards, where he was the host. A famous actor named Sir Patrick Stewart openly criticized Corden's unprofessional behavior on stage, saying that he was just standing there with his hands in his pockets and looking bored. This made the evening awkward. Instead of calming down, Corden fired back with mocking jabs and a clear anger. It wasn't the first time that Corden's behavior was called into question after this exchange went viral. Corden didn't seem humble or try to lighten the mood with humor. Instead, he seemed protective and angry, which would become his public image in the years to come. Reports of Corden's bad behavior behind the scenes got worse as his fame grew. People who used to work with him on his shows didn't have a good opinion of him. Reports came out that he yelled at production workers and put down the director while hosting the game show A League of Their Own. The show's director reportedly called him the most difficult and obnoxious presenter on television because he was so rude. Even worse was the change in his friendship with Ruth Jones, his co-star. They used to work together a lot, but their friendship is said to have cooled down, with Corden's growing ego being one reason. He seemed to be changing for the worse because of his fame. Before he took over for Craig Ferguson as host of The Late Late Show on CBS, Corden did something very brave in 2015. He left the UK for the US. At first, many people didn't agree with the choice because they didn't think Corden would appeal to an American audience. Despite what people thought, the show went viral, mostly because of creative bits like "Fill Your Guts" or "Spill Your Guts," and the now iconic Carpool Karaoke. But being popular didn't mean someone was likable. People started to notice that Corden's exchanges didn't seem real. His efforts to seem like a normal, likable guy often came off as forced, and his habit of cutting people off and making them look better during interviews became a common complaint. For example, on Carpool Karaoke, he often stole the show by singing louder than the other people there and acting in a way that was almost too dramatic for his own good. Then it came out that he wasn't even driving the car during the part. He was having it towed. Some people saw this as a small matter of logistics. Others saw it as a symbol of a bigger problem, a fake version of reality that was made up. Corden's time in Hollywood wasn't good for him. It was called nightmarish and repulsive. What he did as Bustopher Jones in Cats, 2019. The awful CGI movie got terrible reviews from everyone, and Corden himself said he had never even seen it. Not exactly a sign of artistic pride. Then he was in The Prom, where he played a gay character who was very out there. Corden is known for being a bit of a showman, but the part felt forced and old-fashioned, and many people said he used hurtful cliches. Since the character was straight, the performance felt tone-deaf and fake, which reinforced stereotypes instead of challenging them. Corden's moment of growth turned into another thing that people didn't like about him. What happened at Balthazar? In 2022, at New York's fancy restaurant Balthazar, Corden got into what may have been the most famous scandal of his career. The owner says Corden yelled at the staff after his wife's omelet was made wrong, and he reportedly told them he should cook the meal himself. In front of everyone, the owner called Corden the rudest customer they'd ever had. At first, Corden didn't care about the reaction, but when a reporter from the New York Times asked about it, he gave a short, defensive answer. What could have been a chance for Corden to truly say sorry in public turned into another instance of him refusing to take responsibility for his actions. James Corden quit The Late Late Show in 2023, which was the end of his time in America. His last Carpool Karaoke with Adele was supposed to be emotional and full of heart, but reviewers said it was too sentimental and self-serving. The section seemed more interested in making Corden's departure seem like a heroic farewell than in Adele. It skipped over the many problems that had been plaguing his career. Going back to Britain. What's different? When Corden got back to the UK, he made 2 Gavin and Stacey Christmas shows. One of them got mixed reviews. He has tried to restore trust, but most people have been skeptical. Brian Lyman, also known as Limmy, a comic, said that Corden once told a Kardashian that he won because they were drinking champagne on a Monday afternoon. This seemed to sum up how disconnected he seemed to be from reality. What's wrong with Corden's image is that feeling of being so far away from people because of his fame that he's forgotten what made him relatable in the first place. For many, he is the perfect example of a star who gets too much attention from the media because he is always in the news, seems cocky, and won't take criticism seriously. So why do some people dislike James Corden? It's not just one event. There is a pattern, a sense of confidence. They are not aware of themselves, and strong sense of sincerity in performance. Each scandal, slip-up, or awkward moment has built on the last, making a cartoonish picture of a man who never really knew how other people saw him. Corden isn't the worst person in show business, but he might be the most annoying person all the time. His fall shows how people see you, how charm can turn into arrogance, and how too much attention without reflection can ruin even the best job. The question that still stands is whether James Corden can make things right with his fans again, or whether he will always be known as the person who made everyone hate him. If you enjoy deep dives into celebrity downfalls and pop culture controversies, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.